Welcome back to Sheltered Stage of the Story, the show where two formerly sheltered homeschool students talk about the crazy world of the internet, one Reddit story at a time. I didn't do it right, but I'm going to keep talking really fast like a show announcer. So anyways, welcome back, everyone. Hi.
Welcome back to the show. This is a really fun show where we talk about Reddit stories. You said that really quickly.
I did, and there's
really
a reason
impressive
for that. And the reason for that is because...
this is the rapid fire episode.
Yep.
So we like to talk about stories, and we like to go in depth on those stories to really give you the depth of what we feel and things like that. We don't have time today.
No.
We're going to focus in.
We don't have time. I've got D&D to plan.
We've got D&D to plan. We got stuff like that. But we wanted to make sure that you could get the stories you want. And also for some of the people who don't necessarily like to watch us listen or talk about all these stories for a very long time, this is for you. We're going to talk about a lot of stories in a very short amount of time. Mm-hmm. It should be the same length of the normal episode, but just more stories.
You're just going to get so many more stories than normal.
It's like one of those boxes where you have on there's like double the stories.
No, you don't have too much. We have too much explanation. To the rules. Just kidding.
We're just doing it. We're doing it today. So for those who have been here before, welcome back. For those who haven't been here, welcome for the first time. This is a really cool thing. We tell people that are not great pickle feet. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the previous episode. We'll explain it there. We don't have time now. I feel like one of those movies where it's like, I don't have time to explain it to you.
Yes, but I have time to say this, and we're going to do it at the beginning instead of at the end. If you like what you hear, subscribe, hit that little bell. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, follow, leave a review, send us a listener write-in at shelteredstages.com. I think I hit all the things.
Absolutely.
All right, what's the rules, sir?
The rules. Oh, before we start with this, we should actually go over to the intro, which shouldn't be playing twice as fast, but it could be. So we're going to start the intro now. Okay, we're back again.
This episode's giving me anxiety.
If this episode's giving you anxiety, we're going to pause for a little bit. Just slow down a little bit, just so you can get the rules before we go into the rest of it. For those,
sorry,
for those of you who might get anxiety from that really quick response there, this is going to be the rapid fire episode. This is also going to be the episode where we bring back some of the stories that we had listed out before, but we didn't necessarily get to just because of time restrictions or something like that. Because now we don't have time, so we're going to have even more stories in the shorter amount of time. So I wanted to gamify this one. Is
Let's
that okay
do
with
it.
You? Okay, fantastic.
A gamer? Gamifying something for me? You shouldn't have.
So for you and for the rest of the audience that are watching, what we're going to do is we're going to read a story.
Okay.
Then you're going to have 5 minutes to do 3 or 2 things. I think it's going to be 3 things, actually.
5 minutes or 3 minutes?
3 minutes, actually.
Okay.
You're going to have 3 minutes to figure this out. So the first one is, who's the Picklefoot in the situation? Are they Picklefoot or not the Picklefoot? And who is the Picklefoot in that situation? Why are they the Picklefoot? And what are your opinions on it? And then third, what do you think the public is saying about it? Do they agree with you or do they not agree with you?
I like that. So I can have my own opinion, and then I can think if the rest of the society has agreed with me or if not. All right. Well, as a sheltered sage, I'm sure I align with all of the opinions of the public on every single thing.
Every single thing possible.
And of course, I know you're saying these rules for me. These rules apply to you as well.
Absolutely.
I will also be doing my own stories and keeping you on that same timer.
Absolutely. And we're going to go back and forth, so you'll be able to see it quite soon, but it's going to be fun. We're going to see it, and then you guys can go over and tell us whether you agree with our opinions or not, or whether or not you're like, hey, you guys weren't going fast enough. We're also going to read it pretty fast, so if you want to slow down, there is an option on there where you can go at 2 times, or was it 0.5 times speed?
I think there's 0.8 is what I would recommend, or 0.75.
You're going to be talking fast.
Yeah, it'll be fast. So we'll get to do my normal cadence, because this is actually how I talk in real life.
I also talk fast.
ADHD, it's the worst.
Yeah,
not that I know if you have it.
Yeah, just a little
we don't
quick
have
story.
time. Just kidding.
A little quick story. At work before, I was talking really fast, and they were like, Phil, like, what? You can take a breath. I was like, no, this is how I talk to my siblings. Like, I talk really fast. We just generally talk really quickly.
Yeah.
I have to slow down for the podcast so that people can hear me and understand.
Yeah.
But generally, we talk pretty quick.
Really quick.
So if you don't like it, you can slow us down.
This
That's
is how
fine.
we became such friends, as we talked about an entire TV show in one night. Because we talk so fast.
Absolutely. Okay, so
all right,
let's get started. You're going to actually start out with the first one.
Yes,
so you can read it to me, and then we'll start with the game. I cannot say anything until the timer starts, but...
Am I the Picklefoot? Because my husband won't let me go see my sick mom for a few days alone. Trigger warning, cancer. My mom was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer last year. Me, 33. My husband, 34. My 2 kids... 2 and 5, went to go be with her for her first chemo. It was rough seeing her like this, a little tough having to take care of her while being a mom and a wife at the same time. Now it's almost a year and I have not gone to see my mom, but when she was able to, she came down to visit me. I live in another state. I feel bad because my 5-year-old started school and we have not gone to see my mom even after she had her surgery. She is now cancer-free. Hooray! But she is having complications. I just want to be with her and take care of her, even if there will be a few days without the stress of the kids. I am a stay-at-home mom, but work part-time from home, and my husband works from home too. I asked him if it was possible for him to take 3 days off so I can go be with my mom and he can watch the kids. He refused. And compromised that I have to take my 2-year-old with me, which, okay, fine, even though it would be hard going to the hospital and having someone watch her while I want to be there for my mom. Now, not even 2 days later, he tells me he wants to travel overseas to see his grandmother for a couple weeks because she's sick, leaving me home with the kids. I value family and sympathize, but you're telling me you cannot give me 3 days for me to go be with my mom, but you take 2 weeks to be with your grandma? We got into an argument because, per him, he can choose when he wants to take days off, and seeing his grandmother is more important to him than me going to help my mom and be there for her because her being sick is not as important. Am I the Picklefoot for getting upset about this double standard? And don't say anything.
I'm thinking for a second.
3, 2, 1. Timer starts now.
All right, so she is not the Picklefoot. I specifically feel that it is one of those weird things where the man in the situation, it's a male in the situation, he feels like he is allowed to do more than the woman is because she's supposed to stay home with the kids. Now, I'm reading a little bit into this, but I think specifically in this situation, she wants to see someone by herself, and she is supposed to bring the kids along. He doesn't have to bring the kids at all, and it seems like she's in charge of the child care in the situation for all of the children when he doesn't have as much. If she wants to go see a person and her family who is sick, she should be allowed to go over and do that without having to worry about the kids or anything like that, especially in a very serious situation where there is like cancer involved. You don't know how long that could be or how complicated it is. It kind of hurts my heart as well to know that she is going through that situation without the support of her husband in that way, and also the fact that later on he's doing the exact same but an even worse situation to her, going for an extended amount of time to see someone else who is sick in an entire new place. So she's going to be alone with those kids, which I'll say in that situation too, it does feel like she's been alone with the kids for a good bit as well. It's because he doesn't seem like he's going to be around as much. So I say she's not the Picklefoot, he's the Picklefoot. He should not be doing this to her at all. She should not have to deal with this at all, and it's not fair to her. Now, a little extra added bonus, since I still have a little bit of time here, for those who are going through a situation where you feel like there is unequal kind of situations, like one person in the relationship is supposed to do something and the other person is not supposed to do something as much. I think having that conversation with them first and really opening it up, a lot of times they're going to be against it because they feel like, okay, this is what my father did, or this is what my mother did before, and this is how a relationship is supposed to go. You probably should have done that before you got married, but you're here now. So in that case, have that conversation. If they don't want to have that conversation, there's this wonderful thing called therapy, specifically relationship therapy, where you can go in, or marriage therapy. You can go in and talk about your relationship. You can talk about the things they're doing. And then I would say beyond all of that, as a mother or as a parent of any kind, you are allowed to do things by yourself. If you want to go somewhere or do something like that, you have a partner for a reason. They should be there to take care of the kids when you're not there, and vice versa. So I think it's really, really important for him to back down, stop being such a picklefoot, and actually let his wife go over and do something, which is still uncomfortable because, like, you shouldn't be letting your wife do something. She should be allowed to do it. But, you know, I've got like 15 seconds left. So I'm going to say, don't be a picklefoot. Be nice to your partners.
What do you think the public said?
Oh, the public, I think they said that he is the Picklefoot and she's not the Picklefoot. I almost forgot about that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And we are out of time. Big flashing lights. Very nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, good news. You are correct. She is not the Picklefoot.
Nice.
No, very much similar comments. A lot of the comments kind of fall around the same thing. Another comment that gets brought up is the fact that She is the stay-at-home mom, but also has to work part-time.
Yeah.
That's not a stay-at-home mom.
No.
Or, I mean, it might be, but it's not a stay-at-home mom. That is a mother who is working and the hot father who is also working. They need to figure it out.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I agree with you completely.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Did you feel like 3 minutes was too much time? Because we could cut it down to 2 minutes.
We could cut it down to... I'm going to give you 3 minutes as well.
Okay, we'll see how I feel.
Yeah, 3
And
minutes.
then if we need to go to the next level, maybe we could like cut it down 30 seconds for each story, and you only get less and less and less.
It sounds so scary.
That's
it's
terrifying.
Like, you get 10 seconds.
You get 10 seconds on the last one. It's like, Picklefoot, awful dad. Public agrees with me.
It's just like a random thing. Oh my gosh.
It's becoming like poetry for Neanderthals.
Exactly.
Anyways, all right. So, story 1, done. Also, listeners at home, try and think about what story that might have come from. You would be wrong.
Episode.
What episode? Yes, thank you. What episode that might be.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that was the end of my first story.
Okay.
Story number 2.
Story number 2. You ready for it?
Catch your breath first.
Okay. Catching my breath.
Because you just talked really fast for 3 minutes, and then you got to read me a story.
Feels like debate class as well.
I never took debate.
No, I'm not debating. I never took debate either. But it feels like what I imagined debate class would be.
Because we were homeschooled, guys. Reminder of what this show is.
I don't think I ever took debate. My sisters did take debate class when they were in the co-op thing. But no.
I would have loved debate, honestly. I'm mad that I didn't, because I would have been so good at it.
That's fair. I think you'd be good at it.
I would have had fun. Anyways.
All right. You ready for the next story?
Let's do it.
Okay. Am I the Picklefoot for not letting my coworker interrupt me anymore? All right, you ready for the story?
Let's go.
Okay. I've been at my job for 3 years now, and in personal and professional conversation, my coworker is what she was going to say, continually interrupts me. Not just me, it's everyone. Usually someone will start to speak in about 2 seconds, he will interrupt. Not always about the same subject, sometimes he will just spark into a completely different topic. There's professional conversations that have to happen, and we literally sit next to each other. Always thought that's just how his brain works, or he's got a different communication style. Recently, I started literally talking louder and not stopping when he interrupts. It usually leads to both of us talking for 1 to 2 seconds. Sometimes he will stop/slow down, and sometimes he just keeps going, almost ignoring what I'm saying. I feel crazy, and I feel like everyone else at work notices. I've asked him to just stop interrupting me, but when I brought this up to a friend, they said that it's a Picklefoot move. Didn't work, by the way. Am I the Picklefoot? Okay, don't say anything just yet.
I'm thinking.
You're thinking? You're thinking?
It's coming to me.
Okay.
I'm finding it.
I'm finding it. I'm finding it.
It really take you that long to find it?
It does.
It does.
3, 2, 1, go.
Not the Picklefoot, is my opinion. And the reason for this being is that there are people like that in the workforce. I, myself, am an individual that when I am really excited or really interested in a topic, I find myself having that urge to like step into a conversation, or even sometimes getting to a position where I start finishing the other person's sentence for them because I've gotten to the end of their thought. It is incredibly disrespectful in a workplace, even if that is your own mindset and your mode of thinking. So in a workplace setting, in a situation like she described, you have to be respectful of the other people around you and making sure that you are not putting your own needs, wants, and desires above your your other coworkers. You have to be respectful of them. I can understand it coming across as almost like a domineering, like I'm trying to put you down thing, which I think is what some of the people were saying by being a Picklefoot behavior. But I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, what she should do is it's very much just be no, I was not finished. Hold up a finger, be like, hey, I don't appreciate you cutting me off. I will continue my sentence. I don't remember what the thing was with the politician. It was like, I secede the floor, but I answer the question, but I do not secede the floor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still talking. I'm not done. You can hold that thought. I have to do that with kids all the time. All the time. It's like, we're not going to answer that question right now. Nope, we're not talking over me right now. Wait 1 moment. We will get to your question in a moment. If that's not relevant, we're going to keep going. So you have to learn as an adult to respect kind of the social awareness that is not hierarchy, but almost like the etiquette. It's social etiquette. Respecting the social etiquette of the workplace and recognize that while you might have a thought, unless you're in a collaborative setting where everyone is allowed to kind of intercut each other and have these moments where they take charge, you have to be respectful. Raise your finger. Let them know, hey, this is something that I'm interested in. This is obviously me talking in the place to the other person. That's if it's a situation where it's like I genuinely struggle to listen and like not interject my own things. If that ever happens, and I've had that happen to me before where someone was like, you take charge too much. I actually had that happen where one of my leadership team was like, hey, you have a tendency of like stepping in and talking over me, and I don't appreciate it. I had to be very intentional about stepping back, and I created a system where it's like, if I want to talk, I raise my hand when I'm around them because I'm like, I have a thought and I want to let you know I have a thought, but I respect that you're talking and I don't want to interrupt you. So it's very important you come up with systems to respect the people around you, and but you need to communicate that as well. The coworker needs to tell the man that is doing this, stop interrupting me, please. You're making me feel unheard. You're making me feel disrespected. That needs to stop. Let's come up with a system. So I think that society said that she was not the Picklefoot. He was the Picklefoot. And I am going to take my 5 minutes to breathe.
Your 5 seconds.
5 seconds to breathe. And time.
Done. Well done.
Thank you,
that
sir.
was impressive.
Thank you, sir. That's good news is people are going to get the most unfiltered sheltered sages in this episode.
That is
because
true.
like we don't have time to sound good. Like this is us. This is the real us coming through.
That is true. Sometimes we cut stuff out in the middle of it. Not too much. You get most of what we're talking about through there, but like this is going to be just like basically all
unfiltered,
we said.
Raw, sheltered sages.
That is crazy. So to let you know, yes, I agree with you on there as well.
But what about society?
Society also agrees with you. Congratulations. Now, a funny little thing, which I did as well when I first read this story, it doesn't say anywhere that the poster is a female.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't, which I love that I assumed too that it was a woman is because of how often that happens in the workplace.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole nother situation on top of everything where it's like, that's almost the norm where they get talked over. And so I like that you were like, this is probably who it is. That was really nice.
I like that, but also we should probably be careful because that maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a gentleman who was being talked over instead of a lady. And it's like, we're assuming that because they were being taken advantage of, that it was a female. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like yes and no. It's like we thought the same way, but also like
that's a little bit of a
unforeseen bias.
Exactly.
That we have. Yeah. Unconscious bias. That's
unconscious bias that was there.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, I think we should cut it down. I think we should take 30 seconds off for the next one.
Ooh, let's do
2 minutes and 30 seconds for the next one for a reaction. Because it's like, I found myself, I'm like, I can articulate a lot of my thoughts in 3 minutes. So let's cut it down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the next one.
Like you read your thoughts and then at the end of it, you're like, oh, wow, I still have a little bit more time to go.
Yeah.
You got that like extra 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
All right, I'm going to read my story first, of course. Am I the Picklefoot for refusing to pay in full for a meal someone else took home? I, 20 female, went out to dinner with a friend, 20 female, and her boyfriend, 20 male. By accident, I ordered a dish that I couldn't eat. This was my fault. When it came time to ground the bill, my friend and her boyfriend asked if they could take my meal, which was barely touched. I said sure, since I wasn't going to eat it, and it would be a waste otherwise. A couple days later, her boyfriend reached out asking me to pay for my portion, which included the food they brought home. This caught me by surprise, since, again, they were the ones who ended up eating it all, and it felt like being asked to pay for part of their meal. If they hadn't done this, I would have paid in full, since it was my mistake for ordering the dish. I explained this to him and asked if they could recalculate the total. Her boyfriend said he understood and gave me the new split, which ended up being $20 less. I paid the remaining, $10, but it seems like afterwards they weren't very happy and have since refused to hang out. This is the first time something like this has happened, and there have been times where I have covered the meal without really caring if I got my money back, just because I wanted to hang out. Since we were already growing distant in our relationship, I kind of just let it be. When I brought it up in passing today, a different friend said she disagreed with my actions and claimed that they were helping me by not wasting my food. To be honest, I still don't really see how this was helping me, as either way I wasn't eating it. I also think that by taking the food, it was a choice they made that they should be accountable for. Again, if they didn't take the food, I would have paid for it. This feels like if someone ate your food and still asked you to pay for it. It's not something I would do to anyone else, and I don't think it's wrong of me to voice my objection, considering how the boyfriend even said he understood. That being said, I feel bad at how the friendship fell apart over some dollars. Am I the Picklefoot? Should I have just paid for the full meal? All right, collect your thoughts.
Collecting thoughts.
Collect your thoughts. Begin.
So I don't think that it's a she.
She?
I don't think that she is the Picklefoot whatsoever. That said, I think she had a bit of a Picklefoot behavior in how she dealt with this. I think it's always funny whenever friends are talking through like monetary stuff, because even with relationships we talked about before, the top thing that hurts relationships is money. It gets complicated because you're like, who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for that? For me, personally, in this situation, if someone had asked me to pay for the stuff, I was just going to pay for it, because I would rather keep the friendship and lose, let's say, $20 or an extra $10 versus like keeping that $10 and that friendship going away. But it seems like she's okay with this friendship dying out. Now, for the first situation, she did order this food. So them having her pay for the food that she ordered, I feel that's pretty fair. Now, if you're paying for something that you didn't necessarily eat or you got for something else, that's a little complicated. But like, you ordered it, you pay for it. I think that's a simple, lawful kind of system for it. Going into who ate whatever food that was there, that gets a little bit more complicated, because it's like, if let's say we get the triple dipper, right? Over at, is it Chili's? Chili's. Yeah, and then I eat your chips, and you're like, hey, you ate like a
Dip
third.
trio.
Yeah, the dip trio. And you're like, I ate a third of your chips. Now you got to pay me for that third of your chips. I'd be like, dude, what's going on here? Like,
1 minute left.
we've got something that it's not there. So I don't think it is truly fair. I think they should have just gone from who ordered it. She ordered it by mistake, but like, that's your fault. So you kind of should have paid for it to begin with. So while she's not a complete Picklefoot in the situation, I do feel like she is a slight Picklefoot. This is the Picklefoot behavior. Just pay for it, get over it, don't make a big deal of it. They're a little Picklefoot feet as well, so I guess both of them are soft pickle feet for it. Now for society, I think they're going to say that she is the Picklefoot. I'm going to go out on a limb here, just because it seems like she did something. She ordered something, even a mistake, and even though they took the food home, she's the one who ordered it. And so it's like, okay, unless you told your friends before, if you take it, are you guys good paying for it as well? I don't think it's fair for her to assume that they are going to pay for it. And 2, 1, boom.
Nicely
Perfect.
done, sir. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Very good. So I want to clarify, because
Yes.
you kind of teeter-tottered.
Yeah.
Is your official thing yes or no she is a Picklefoot, or kind of a Picklefoot?
I say soft Picklefoot.
Soft Picklefoot. Okay.
Yeah. I'd say they're soft pickle feet as well.
Okay. So society has also said that she is the Picklefoot.
Yes.
So I don't think that they're really Picklefoot, because I think the standard expectation would be you order food, even if like, hey, it's going to go to waste. Do you mind if we take it?
Yeah.
It seemed like they were just being like, hey, let's just not waste the food.
Yeah.
That's where I come from that. And so I don't really think that, especially considering they didn't fight her on it when she was like, no, I want to do it. I think that's very appropriate behavior to be like,
That's fair.
I'm not going to fight you on this. It's $20.
Yeah.
But especially as like a friendship that's shifting away, it sounds like they're like, yeah, this is behavior I don't want to continue to be friendship with.
That's fair.
I
mean,
don't feel that they're pickle feet, but I understand how you could feel that.
Yeah, and it's also like, if everyone's okay with that relationship just falling apart, there was things that were happening there as well. I feel like that we're beyond this food thing, because it seems like neither side actually talked about later on. They're just like, yeah, that felt weird. I don't like it, and then they just ended it.
Yep. So
yeah.
I don't. We could talk more about it, but that is not this episode. All right. Well done, sir. Well done. Well, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I think that was good. I think it forced us to get a little bit more.
That's fair.
How did you feel?
I felt pretty good.
Okay.
You want to go lower than that?
No, I mean, for me, let me try the two. Don't screw me over. Let me try the 2 minutes and 30 seconds first.
I got you.
All right.
All right. Are you ready, sir?
No, let's go. Yes, kidding. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay. The next story, basically, the title goes into the story, so I'm just going to go into it.
Let's do it.
All right. Am I the Picklefoot if I told all my friends I'm on a drinking break and health journey and refuse to ever drink with them, but I have been drinking every time I'm on a date with a girl 4 times so far? I told my friend I did this, and now she thinks I'm a Picklefoot that doesn't value his friends because I would break my rules for a girl, but not my friends of 8 years. Does this make me a Picklefoot?
Is that the whole story?
That's the whole story.
Oh my gosh, there's so little context. I'm going to ask before we get started, is there like any info? Is there any edits? Anything to this story?
Nope, that's it. That's all you
not
get.
Fair. Okay, I'm compiling my thoughts. No, I can handle this.
Actually, there was a title on there. It's Am I the Picklefoot if I, 26 male, drink on dates, but not with my friends?
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yes.
that gave me a little bit of context.
Yeah.
All right, I'm collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting.
Yep.
Collecting. All right.
When you're ready, you hit the start button.
All right. Start. All right, so I am going to say that he is the Picklefoot, and the reason that I'm going to say he's the Picklefoot is because it comes down to this dishonesty, which for those who've been listening, you know that is a big deal for me. Honesty, trust, things like that. If these are your friends of 8 years and you're lying to them, saying that you're not drinking alcohol, you're on a health journey, blah 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 blah, then going out on dates and drinking with girls as part of the date, then either you're not being honest with those people that you're going out on dates with and still drinking, or you're not being honest with your friends and choosing to drink with other people. What I think this really comes down to is the reality that... Nope. Wait. Hold on. The train derailed.
You got it.
No. I'm finding it. it. I think what this comes down to is that you have to decide what's important to you. Why, again, this is why I'm so frustrated, because the story doesn't have a lot of context. Why are these, is drinking the only thing that these friends of 8 years do? Because if that is all this friendship is it's just drinking with these buddies on the side, then I would say, okay, I can respect you wanting to get rid of it, but you didn't add any context to the story, so how am I supposed to make a decision? So I'm just saying, with the information provided of just... I'm lying to my friends and telling them I'm not drinking, but I am still drinking, I am going to call this person a Picklefoot. I could go on a rant, but really, this is more going to be a rant about Redditors. Don't put that on the internet if you're not wanting to get an accurate result, because I need info about this story to make an accurate assessment of this. So... yeah, I mean, so the biggest thing is I could respect there being a boundary, right? With friends, I want to be, there might be friends with hey, I want to drink with these friends. I don't want to drink with these friends. I drink alcohol. I'm not going to pretend that I don't, but there are certain groups that I don't drink alcohol with. And then I'm upfront and honest with them, right? So it's very, very, very important that you are upfront and honest about what your boundaries are, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, and sharing those with other people. So that's going to be my soapbox for that. In terms of what the public voted, I'm almost at the point where I don't know if they had enough to vote on, but I'm gonna say also they're gonna say he's the Picklefoot. I might be wrong.
Okay.
Yep, but I might be wrong, and that's all the time I have. So my soapbox is done.
That's it. We're done.
Oh my
You did
gosh. That was
I'm
awful.
sorry.
I hate you.
so
Just kidding.
sorry.
I don't hate you, but also that was terrible.
I'm so
That
sorry.
was so bad. I can't even.
I thought it was a fun one because it's a very specific
It's so
situation
vague.
with no extra context.
No context
to it. It's
whatsoever.
Specific but huge. Okay, so for the first one, you said he's the Picklefoot.
He's the Picklefoot.
For society, they did not agree with you.
They didn't agree with me.
No.
You know what, though? Society doesn't hold up the standard of honesty as much as I do, so that's fair.
So one of the biggest things why they said he's not the Picklefoot is basically because you do not owe your friends a reason for you drinking or not drinking. It's kind of like a thing where if you decided one time, hey, I'm not going to drink with you here, but I'm going to drink over there. I don't like the dishonesty, which like you talked about as well, where you're it's a health journey, but it's a certain situation, but also if you didn't want to give them any reason, you'd be like, hey, I'm just not drinking with you guys. And then later on you want to drink with a certain girl. I think you should be allowed to do that.
And especially as a 26-year-old, you need to tell your friends, I'm not feeling up to drinking.
Yeah, exactly. So if they're a little upset with you because it feels like you're being dishonest, I don't think that's the bad thing. And I think he is kind of, I agree with you. I think he's kind of Picklefoot, just be honest. I don't want to drink with you. That's it.
Yeah, the real reason he's a Picklefoot, because that's all the context he gave for his story. That's the real reason he's a Picklefoot.
There you go.
In my book, anyways. Oh my gosh.
funny.
I'm just how dare you? It's
Sorry.
You should have waited till the end when we've cut it down to minuscule. I'll be well, obviously I have nothing else to work on with here.
I gave you a little
for
bit
the
of
last
time
one
there.
where I have the least amount of time, you're going to be and here's the most complex problem I could throw at you.
Oh yeah, I'm going to just throw the most complex problem.
You're going to throw the trolley problem at me for my last story.
Exactly. All right,
let's go down to 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Let's do it.
Let's do 2 minutes.
Am I the Picklefoot for telling my producer / boss the way that he is filming a commercial / indie film I'm working on is not going to appeal to young people? I will make this very short because my mom says I need to apologize and I say I was doing my job. She says since she got me the job, her butt is on the line too. I'm working as a PA for a director who is shooting a national commercial that will appear on YouTube. He has permission from his agency to shoot B-roll for an independent film that he's working on while we are in prep for the main shoot. The trouble is he's like 60 and the commercial is for late teens and early 20s, and his indie movie is about a TikToker who is starting a band. The way he's shooting it sucks, and no one is going to watch his ad, and his indie film is so nonsense. I gave him some advice on Friday and he was so rude he told me he didn't want to hear it. I repositioned some cameras yesterday and he said I messed everything up. And then yesterday I told the actor that maybe if they slowed down a bit it would have more impact. The director said either I stop meddling and apologize or don't come back tomorrow. I said he needed to apologize for swearing at me and making me feel unsafe. He told me to get off a set and don't come back. This is when I went and told my mom, and she said I was overstepping and I need to apologize if I want to stay working in entertainment. I need to realize that I am not an expert yet. I was trying to do my job, so I'm having a hard time understanding what I did wrong. And that is the end of the story. Collect your thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I'm sure you do. 2, 1.
Okay, so hot take here. I think, is it she for the story?
I think it's...
They, the PA, the production assistant, OP, is the Picklefoot. And it's a kind of a hot take for this one, though it shouldn't be. If you're in production at all, it's kind of like, I won't say it's like the military, but like there are rank systems towards it. Production assistant, they are not too high on the ranks. A director or a cinematographer is going to be far, far higher up in the ranks than that production assistant. Really, as a PA, when they said that they were trying to do their job, your job is to support the director and the rest of the production and whatever's going on. A PA, unless given express permission from the director, the cinematographer, or someone who's in charge of the cameras, should not be repositioning the cameras around. And beyond that, they should not be giving any kind of suggestions towards how a film is being made or directed to the director in whatever process unless the director asks. Now, it's not great that he was kind of mean towards her when she or they were asking about that situation, but still, no, they should not have given any advice towards her. It's kind of like, if I didn't ask for your advice, why are you giving it to me? It could be a terrible, terrible film, but kind of what we talked about in a previous episode, that's their suggestion, that's what they want to do, and maybe it's not for teenagers, maybe it's for 60-year-olds.
30 seconds left.
For them to look at it and stuff like that. So I'd say the PA is the Picklefoot. Sad to say, don't give your opinions. Their mom wasn't correct in that they don't know what they're talking about. You could know what you're talking about. You're just a PA right now. That's the problem. I think the society is going to also say that they are the Picklefoot.
Wow, you got 10 seconds left.
I got 10 seconds left.
Nice answer.
Thank you guys for watching this show.
You still got 5 seconds
I still got 5 seconds. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, stop talking now. You're done. Oh, that was great. Okay, yes. So, no, you are absolutely right. Society has also labeled this individual the Picklefoot. Yeah. And it's very interesting that you are going with them being possibly a she, because I read this and thought a he. But maybe that had just been because I had just watched the the Pixar dreamscape thing, and I was just thinking about like that little
Dream Productions.
The little indie film director kid that gets the job. So I was envisioning him as the person.
So why I envisioned it as a woman, it was more because I know a lot of great production assistants, and specifically the ones I was thinking of, they're women, so
awesome.
They're really great at what they do. They would have never done anything like this.
It really does come down to the reality of like, I understand wanting to like express things, but you still have to follow protocol. You still have to follow the chain of command. Not necessarily there's an express like military chain of command, but there are still guidelines. There are still rules. The director gets to where they're at because of the work that they've put into it. You're at the bottom. You have to work your way up, and you don't have the level of respect to speak volumes into that person's life until you're ready, until they're ready for you to be that way.
And if they're open to it, that's great. But it doesn't seem like he wanted their opinion at all. So, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
That was a fun
Well
one.
done. Yes, I thought you would love that one. That's why I picked
did.
that one.
I did really like that one. I was like, this is what I can speak to as well, because
In 2 minutes.
yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, are you ready for me to read the story to you?
I'm ready for you to give me another really complicated thing to solve in 5 seconds.
This
Let's
is
go.
just one sentence, so I'm
gosh.
joking. I'm joking. It's longer than that.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
Am I the Picklefoot for copying my friend's business? Hi everyone, I've decided to ask here as I know Reddit is brutally honest and I'm feeling a bit guilty about the situation. My close friend recently started her own cleaning business and I had been doing a few fortnightly cleans for her while I'm on maternity leave. My maternity leave is now nearing an end and I'm dreading going back to work. I thought opening my own cleaning business would be ideal as it's flexible. I would love to continue cleaning for my friend's business, however, it is not by the books, and I'm only being paid £10 an hour out of the £16 which the customers pay for their clean, which barely covers my travel expenses and supplies. It started off fine as it was helping me get out of the house and her build clients for her business, but now I'm feeling a bit used. I'm scared to say that to her I'm thinking of starting my own business as I'm afraid it would affect our friendship. So thinking of just going ahead and keeping my page as anonymous as possible. Am I the Picklefoot for just going ahead behind her back?
Of course, you would get me a complicated one.
You got this.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this one is hard. I don't think this one is very easy. I think this one has a lot of complexities to it. So I'm going to talk my things through before I give my official announcement.
Okay.
So the reality that she's working for a friend, and she's kind of working under. It sounds like she's over in the UK, while we would do it like working under the table, which basically just means like you're not on a contract, you're not being paid like the legal amount, and blah 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 blah. Seems like it was one of those things where it's like, we both kind of had a verbal agreement that we're going to do something. So it does suck when something like that happens and you're not paid the full amount. That being said, well, no, and that's why, like, the more and more I talk about it, the more I think you have every right, once you have done this person has done you a favor, I think you have every right to be like, hey, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to get comfortable, to discover this is something what I want. But unfortunately, I can't do it. The first thing I would do is I would go to the friend and be like, hey, thank you so much for this. I've enjoyed this. I'd like to keep doing this, but this isn't feasible for me. Could we possibly do this as a more official, with a contract, things like that, where I'm getting paid an appropriate amount? If the friend says no, that's not going to happen, you just let them know. It's like, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Unfortunately, I am going to be going my own separate way. I would not open a business under the table and try and do it just for the sake of preserving the friendship. Again, comes back to the dishonesty thing for me. I don't appreciate dishonesty. I don't appreciate it when people lie about things, and it really is going to affect the friendship, because now you have this secret business that you're doing underground and trying to maintain your friendship at. The reality also is you're going to try and most likely, like when you think about like hair cutters or like landscapers or things like that,
Barbers.
where it's barbers. Yes. They steal, or not steal, but they like take clients with them because they like the service. So I don't have time to continue to elaborate. I'm going to say soft Picklefoot would be the Picklefoot if she did that. I'm going to say that society, though, is going to say not the Picklefoot, again, with the same concept of her lying.
And you're out of time.
Darn it. Not lying. I finished. Can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. Sorry, okay.
That was really nice. That was
you.
really good. Yeah, it's a more complicated situation.
Yes.
That said, you got it all correct. Yeah, society said that she was the Picklefoot, basically because if you made a competing business without telling your friend.
I didn't get it right then, because I said she's the Picklefoot, but I thought society would not say she's the Picklefoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say at the end, because
Okay.
they don't care about honesty as much as everyone else.
No. They were saying that it's not fair what she was being paid, but still, if you just started a competing business, it's not great.
Yeah.
'Cause
Without it under the table specifically,
Yeah.
or not under the table. Darn it! Discreetly, anonymously, trying to keep it under wraps. That's the word I was going for. Under wraps.
And it seems like OP is also guilty about it as well, where they're like, yeah, this is not kind of cool, but like I'm also doing the work, so yeah, not great.
Yeah. I mean, it's your choice to do at the end of the day. I mean, like for my independent contracting work, when I work with either, like I've worked with independent contracting websites, or even the place that I run my D&D games from, a lot of people will start there and then they will once they have enough customers or clientele, they'll migrate off of that and start running things independently, so they don't have to pay that third party in order to facilitate those things.
That's fair.
So it's just a natural part of business if you're wanting to go in that direction. You have to recognize sometimes like having that conversation is important. But I don't want to get into too much. I use my 2 minutes.
No, you're good. You're good. Good. That was great. Okay. You ready?
Are you good to go down to a minute 30?
I'm good to go down to a minute 30.
All right.
Let me lower
We'll get
this.
to a minute by the last story, and it'll be super stressful. I love it. Maybe 30 seconds
30.
by the last story if we blow
Oh my
up.
goodness, 30 seconds for it. Also, I just want to let everyone know, if this is your story and you feel like we're just like rushing through the story, it's not because it's not serious. It's because you made your story short. So
Yeah.
there you go. But we're going to try to keep it serious if we can, if it's a serious thing. And we might have to actually talk about it later.
Yeah.
I don't think any of my stories have
I didn't
it.
pick
They're
any
kinda
that were
like-
incredibly serious for that exact purpose. I didn't want it to be
But absolutely.
anything too insane.
Okay, cool.
Am I the Picklefoot for defending my husband after a prank went horribly wrong? My husband, Jaden, 26, loves jokes and pranks and stuff. I'll admit I'm not one for them and find most of them dumb. But our daughter, Lucy, 5 years old, loves them. They basically do a bunch of stupid pranks to each other. And to be fair, Jaden does keep it harmless. Last month, we got some realistic-looking spider toys and other decorations. Since we got them, Jaden and Lucy have basically been taking turns putting them around the house to scare each other or me. I honestly find it annoying, but the two of them love it. Lucy does usually get scared, but when she realizes it, she laughs and finds it funny or tells her dad off. It's actually adorable when she tells him off, though. And Jaden always pretends he is scared, even when she gives it away before him by giggling and watching him. So, about 2 weeks ago, Jaden set it to fall on her when she opened her toy box in the playroom. Lucy didn't open it, and apparently he forgot. Later that week, we had family over, including my brother Leon and my nieces, Tara and Zoe, 3 and 6 respectively. Zoe was badly bitten by a spider when she was younger, even had to go to the hospital. Since then, she is terrified of them. I would go as far to call it a phobia. The kids went to play, and the spiders fell on them. Zoe completely freaked out and just melted away. We came down and saw what had happened. Jaden did apologize and try to cheer her up, but Leon was furious. He basically accused us of doing it on purpose, that we should know better and just call us pickle feet. We did apologize and explain that it wasn't meant for Zoe, but my brother did not listen to him at all. Leon left early with my sister-in-law and nieces, and the whole night was kind of ruined. I've tried to talk to him after, but Leon is still pretty ticked with us. It's been a week, and he's still acting like we tried to unalive Zoe. I tried explaining again that it was an accident and a mistake, but he basically thinks it's too convenient a mistake, and that if it is, Jaden is still a Picklefoot for being so immature, and I'm a Picklefoot for defending him. So now he basically refuses to see us unless Jaden is banned, which is ridiculous. I do feel bad that it went so wrong, and I understand that it was a horrible mistake, but it wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to be for Lucy, who likes these stupid pranks. I think Leon's overreacting, and he thinks I just don't really care about my niece. All right, that's the end of the story. Is she the Picklefoot? Collect your thoughts. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
So I'm going to start out by saying that she is not the Picklefoot. Jaden is also not the Picklefoot in this situation. His name was Jaden, right? The child
Correct.
that was there.
No, not the child. That was the dad.
The dad? Okay. Well, the child that did the prank there. Did the dad do the prank? Or
Dad set up the prank.
Oh, dad set up the prank there. Oh, that's a lot of interesting there. Okay, so no, neither of them are the pickle feet. It is a very unfortunate situation. I think it's a little flub up in that situation because it's like you didn't plan it for this person. You forgot about it. You should apologize profusely, which it sounds like they did. You should go over and let them know that it wasn't meant for them, which it sounds like they did as well. I do understand the other family, the brother as well, when he's looking at the situation. It's like, this is really, really mean. So it's like really unfortunate that this child had a very terrible situation. Sorry to that child. Mm-hmm. Sorry to that parent that went through it. And I think having like a long conversation, it wasn't intended. We are so sorry. Like, it's not that big thing. But also being a lot more careful about your pranks. If you set up a prank later on, make sure you defuse it. It's kind of like leaving a landmine out for a little bit. Don't do that. Like, you just make sure you keep all your traps ready and with you. So I'm going to say, still, I don't think they're the pickle feet. And I think society is also going to agree with me that they're not the pickle feet. They're a little pickle feet in my head a little bit because they did set up this trap and forgot about it. You made a mistake, but I don't think making a mistake makes you a picklefoot. It just makes you a forgetful person. And boom.
Nice. Very nice,
Cool.
sir.
I like it towards the end. I'm like, I'm getting close. How much can I say? And it's like, I can actually speak faster to do it, but like, it's not going to help me as much.
Yeah, you seem really professional and controlled when you're like, hi, I'm in 30, but I'm going to talk in a smooth and controlled dialect because I'm not stressed about the timer. I'll get everything I need to say out and under the way.
There,
look, I still have 5 seconds because I'm Philip and I'm cool.
No, it's like, I hope I'm talking fast, but I was like, well, no, we're done. We got
great.
it. So how did I do?
You did perfect, yeah. Not the Picklefoot. By both society and them. A lot of people agree in that same mentality. It's like, just the reality is, yes, it's unfortunate that this prank happened, but it wasn't intended for them.
Yeah.
And, it is hard when things like happen, but it's a bonding thing between the dad and daughter, and it's great that they have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And it's harmless. That's the other thing that's really important about pranks.
Yes.
It is harmless.
Yeah. It was terrifying for the child because... They had a very terrible experience with those creatures. That said, like, for anyone else, it probably would have been fine.
Yep, absolutely.
It was just an unfortunate situation. So I'm going to let you have this one.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Am I the Picklefoot for forcing my way into my sister's birthday trip? My sister, 19 female, wanted to take a trip for her birthday. She has a friend there, and they were going to meet up with her dogs to participate in the dog bowl. Interesting. However, when I asked to come, she told me I need to stay home to watch the other animals, and that she wanted it to just be her, our mom, and the dog. When I pushed back on this, she mentioned that we go on trips to do things like concerts without her all the time. This is true, but we assume she doesn't want to come. She also pointed out that every time the three of us go somewhere, she feels like she's made the third wheel, and the activities she wants to do on the trip are put off until the last minute. I disagreed, but I promised to not get in the way on the trip. She still didn't want me to come. I managed to convince my mom to let me come, and as we were ordering plane tickets, she got one for me. My sister got upset, saying how it wasn't fair that she should be allowed to have something like this for just herself for once, and that it wasn't okay that I forced myself into going. I'm pretty sure the trip's being canceled now, but I don't think I'm in the wrong or the one to blame. Am I the Picklefoot?
3, 2, 1. Yes, absolutely, you're the Picklefoot. Okay, well, quickly, what were the ages? Well, did they give ages?
She is 19.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know you're 19 and you think the world revolves around you. It does not. Your sister was very clear about her expectations. You asked. She said no. You need to respect that. I know it's hard because we want the world to revolve around us, but we don't get to, like we talked about in our video game episode, you don't get to go whine and complain to mom to get things right. That makes you the Picklefoot, especially when you are both adults. As someone who, when they were younger, had to secede what needed to happen for an older sibling with older and younger siblings with muscular disease, I had this happen to me a lot where I had to give over that control. Things that I wanted to do didn't happen, and it is frustrating. I will acknowledge that. So I feel like it was absolutely fair for the sister to be like, I don't want you here. I don't think it's fair that you are, that you got, and especially that, we just assume you didn't want to go, so we don't invite you to these things. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. You have to listen when someone very clearly and calmly explains to you that they do not want you at somewhere, and you have to respect that, not go behind their back and have mom buy a plane ticket for you. So, that being said, I think she's the Picklefoot. Mm-hmm. I think society will also think that she's the Picklefoot. And incredibly immature. And I finished with 5 seconds to spare.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Sorry about the clap.
Boom. It was a quiet clap. We did
That was incredible. Well done.
Thank you. That was an easy one. I appreciate
cycled around
that.
there as well. You were just like this and this and this.
Personal
all
life
comes
story.
Together.
All comes together. Good argument.
There we go. That was really good.
All right, let me know. How did I do?
You're absolutely correct. They said that she is the Picklefoot. So, yeah, I think it's fair. Whenever, siblings want to do something and they're just forgetting about all the rest of the things that they've done to you or not done with you. And also, if you want to have, a little trip with your mom, you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
having your sibling tag along.
Every time. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It happened the same for me with siblings. I'd have my sibling be like, "Oh, I want to come with you," and I'm like, "Nope, I would prefer to do this alone."
No, thank you.
And you have to if it was every single time, "No, I don't want you around me," then we'd have a problem. But if it's the fact that it happens all the time, and this is the first time I'm being like, "Hey, I really just want this to be me and my mom and our dog."
That's fair.
Also, plane tickets for the dog. That's a whole nightmare in and of itself.
It's complicated, but they're going to a dog bowl, so
That's
it's
cool,
kind of
though.
like it's a whole
That's
thing.
sad
with
if
that.
the whole thing is canceled because of your behavior. That makes me sad.
I've seen that stuff happen before.
I know.
It's a little disappointing.
Because we're going to take away the whole trip for everyone because no one can get along, even though one person is clearly in the wrong here. Anyways, you ready for your possibly last story, depending on our time?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 1 minute on the clock.
1 minute.
1 minute on the clock. This is good. This is good. This is going to be interesting.
Okay.
I'm very intrigued to see. Am I the Picklefoot for asking my partner to stop playing video games? My 39 female and my partner, 43 male, have been married for 10 years and living together for 14. I always knew he liked video games. Once we were able to afford it, I supported and purchased for him a gaming console, a video racing setup with a sim wheel, racing seat, pedals, etc. He is quite agitated and aggressive with it. Gets himself really worked up, angry, yelling, screaming inappropriate words that I will not say on this podcast, and other things I find concerning and offensive. I've talked to him about this before. It doesn't really get better. The worst is his stress from the game spills over into our everyday life. After a bad race, he will be a total picklefoot for hours and even into the next day, saying the world has something against him and angry that I don't care more or am not more supportive somehow. I remind him that it's a video game, and he gets even more mad. He claims the gaming is a stress relief, but he is always more angry and testy, screaming, yelling, and being generally someone I don't want to be around during/after a bad race. And he's upset and offended when the dogs don't want to be around him. So would I be the Picklefoot if I took the gaming console and system away, since I paid for it? I feel like that's within my right. His reactions to gaming elicit fear in our dogs and myself at times. Which I think is weird because the title says one thing and the actual question at the end is a very different thing. So let's go off of the end question. Would she be the Picklefoot for doing that?
Okay.
So, would she be the Picklefoot for taking the gaming console and system away since she paid for it, feeling like it's within her right since her reaction to the game elicit fear in her dogs and herself?
All right.
All right.
I'm gearing up. I'm ready. I'm getting ready. Here we go. She is the Picklefoot if she takes away the gaming systems, because even though he is having difficulty understanding the differences between real life and the video games are affecting his moods and things like that, you need to have communication with him a lot more than just taking things away. He's a full-grown adult. So taking things away from a full-grown adult is not going to work very well. He's probably going to be a lot more mad, especially if he's saying he's getting so aggressive with this video game. Who's to say he's not going to get aggressive with you in that situation and start yelling more about it? So I don't think that she is the Picklefoot for wanting to take away the stuff, but if she actually does take away the stuff, she is the Picklefoot. And society, I think they're going to say that he's the Picklefoot and she's not the Picklefoot, because it seems like this is not a really good situation for him. And even though he says it's a stress reliever, it doesn't seem like it's a stress reliever at all. We really need to talk about therapy for both of them, and then also just for him, so he can find a way to deal with his very, very aggressive tendencies in this game.
Boom.
Done. Oh, that was hard.
Yeah. That one was good. That one was a hard one.
That was so difficult because there's so much nuance in there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I will show you later the words that he says.
Yeah.
There are some very bad words that I would never say. I wouldn't say in any context.
Oh, I wanted to say too, it's like, oh, it's funny that she has a podcast, because you said it like it was a part of the story, but no, I she's like, I don't want to say this on the podcast.
Good news. Everyone agrees with you. Pretty much that same concept of like, you're not the Picklefoot for wanting him to stop playing this game, but you would be the Picklefoot if you took the console and game away, because he is an adult. You can't just take things away from him like a child. He's not under your care. You need to have a conversation, communicate with him, express your feelings and things like that. Yeah. If you feel unsafe, you need to get out. That is the big determinant, and that is what I will say as well. If you're ever in a situation like that where someone is yelling, screaming, and you feel like you can't relax even after you've had a conversation with them, you might not be in a safe environment. Yeah. So you need to consider, even like you said, if you take that away, it might escalate to something even more serious. So I agree with you completely.
Yeah, that's fair. That was
very
a good
well done,
one.
sir. That was good.
Very, very nice. I like that story as well.
Well, I hated the story for her, but it was a good story to dive
That's
into
a good
and
story
pull
to
apart.
talk about.
All right, I've done this to myself.
All right, it's going to be a minute here. This is fun. Are you having fun?
I'm having fun. This is actually
Guys,
really...
Also, a little pause here. If you guys like this and you want more of these kinds of episodes where we do a little fun gaming stuff between each other, let us know. Leave us a comment or something like that. Be like, yeah, I love this. Or if you don't like it, leave us a comment as that as well. You're like, this is too fast. It's too anxiety. Let us know. We're just having fun over here. We're enjoying ourselves.
Yep.
And if you don't
Absolutely.
like it, we'll just do this by yourselves.
Right. This will be something we do for fun on road trips or something.
Exactly. There we go. All right. Are you ready for the next story?
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. Am I the Picklefoot for going to a concert with my friends instead of my girlfriend? So I've been dating my girlfriend for 4 years now. In the beginning of the relationship, she showed me this band and I really started liking it. And I still do to this day. We would always listen to them together in the car/house. We even went to one of their concerts a couple of years ago. Now there is this new concert and she can't go. I said it was sad that she couldn't go, but I still wanted to go with my friends. She got mad at me and said that this band is our thing, and it's so disrespectful to go to the concert without her, that she feels like I'm always sharing the couple things with other people. She's not speaking to me at the moment. If it was the other way around, if she went with friends, I wouldn't really mind. So, am I the Picklefoot for wanting to go to the concert?
You would give me a complicated one for the last one. Let me collect my thoughts.
Yep.
1 minute.
1 minute. You got this.
Give me the 30-minute warning when it happens, because
Okay.
I might be into my thing.
That's
3,
fair.
2, 1. This is a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to go off on the limb and saying, yes, you are the Picklefoot, but not like a light Picklefoot. And the reason for this being is because this is something that she introduced you to. It's very important to her, all these kind of things, and she has expressed that she's unable to go to it. Instead of being like, oh, that's unfortunate, and going with friends, she has made it very clear that she wants that to be something that is special between the two of you. It is a decision that you have to make. You have every right to be, hey, I don't want this to be.
30 seconds.
Thank you. I don't. I want this to be something that's just between us. I want this to be something for us. I don't know where the statement coming from with it being like you do this with all of our couples things. That might be a habit he has, and she's expressed it, but we don't have enough context to go off of that. So I'm going to say with the information that we're given and that she expressly did it, that he would be a slight Picklefoot if he went, because she expressed that she doesn't want to. They need to talk more about it. They need to come to an agreement of what they want,
Society?
and they want to make sure that society would also agree with me that he is a slight Picklefoot. And I'm done. That was stressful. That was stressful. All right.
It gets down so quick.
It's so quick. You're just like, oh my gosh, it's 30 seconds. Oh gosh. All right.
You got it.
Why can't it be like a 30 like how long the minute feels when you're trying to do a plank or something?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Nope.
30 minutes.
No,
No.
it goes so quick.
So fast.
So you say that he is the Picklefoot,
I say that he is the Picklefoot,
and society agrees with you that
And
he's
that-
a Picklefoot.
and that society would agree with me that he's again, slight Picklefoot.
Okay.
So I'm ready to be proven wrong. Go.
So I kind of agree with you that
Okay.
he's sort of the Picklefoot. It's not great, especially if this is something that you did as a couple. You probably want to talk to her about it and make sure that she's okay before you're going off and doing this. That said, society is saying he's not the Picklefoot.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't owe her.
He doesn't owe her that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I was like, I wanted to get more into, but you get a minute. It's like you don't owe this person that, and that is absolutely true. But if this person is important to you, their thoughts, feelings, wants, and desires should be something that you take into consideration.
Yeah.
You still have the right to go to this event. You still have the right to go to this concert, but especially considering it was something that she introduced you to.
Yeah.
And yes, you guys have been together through a concert, so it's a thing, but at the end of the day, it is your choice.
Yeah.
But there is a right choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can make any
can-
choice you want.
You have free will.
Yeah.
I just think there's a right choice.
Yeah, there's a better choice for this.
What if it was let's be honest.
Yeah.
Notice they don't tell who the artist is. What if it was Taylor Swift? like you went to a Taylor Swift concert before the Eras tour, and then all of a sudden you were able to go to the Eras tour and she couldn't make it off. That would be huge. Like if we added that to the context,
Yeah.
you went without your girlfriend to the Taylor Swift Eras tour concert.
Okay, a little side thing of it. If I got tickets to, or I got the opportunity to go to the Eras tour, and my wife couldn't go to the Eras tour with me, she would be upset That said, the Eras store is huge. And if my friends were going to the Eras store, even though she'd be upset, I would still consider going.
Yeah.
Not because I just want to hurt her, but it's also like, this is a great opportunity.
This is an event.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I was like, you'd have every right to, but you'd have to recognize the impact that it'll have on your relationship.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to lower the time.
Yes. I just found this story in the jump cut that happened between me deciding it. So you didn't get to see the 7 hours I searched for the perfect story for this.
It was 7 hours. I'm still here.
Yep.
He gave me food, though, which was really nice of him.
I did. And coffee. Really, more importantly, coffee.
Yeah, coffee. So I'm good to go. I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
This one, short, sweet, to the point.
Okay.
Am I the Picklefoot for refusing to read my wife's application to a reality TV show about our cluttered home? Our house is cluttered, not disastrous, but definitely overstuffed. I believe it's a behavioral thing we need to work on, not purely a storage or space problem. My wife found a casting call for a reality show where they sort through your clutter, dig into your emotional types of stuff, and do a mini home makeover at the end. She thought it would be great for us. I told her several times that I wasn't comfortable having her private life aired on national TV, even if there was a mini renovation involved. I suggested a methodical, more practical plan that would allow us to declutter our home and keep it uncluttered. She was not interested. She went ahead and spent hours writing the application anyway, which was her choice. I wasn't even angry about that, but when she asked me to read it afterwards, I said no. She got upset, saying I wasn't being supportive. I don't think support means agreeing to something that you are fundamentally against. I'm fine if she wants to apply, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm on board. Am I the Picklefoot? The show is not Hoarders. That is a very important question.
The show's not Hoarders.
The show is not Hoarders.
Thank
There's
you.
context.
Thank you so
much. A little
much.
bit of context.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm going to say he is not the Picklefoot because you shouldn't have your personal life aired on TV if you don't want to, especially if it's your personal opinions and you think it's a personal problem where you're trying to figure out how to clean your entire house. He should read the application, though, because it might be interesting, but I can understand that he might be a little upset that she did it beyond what he wanted. Also, I think society is going to say that he is not the Picklefoot as well because he shouldn't need to be on a TV show to get this fixed. They should agree on it together.
Wow. 30 seconds. Nicely done, sir.
That was difficult, but this, like, you can only really say one thing. You can focus on that one little thing and then have to move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, from what, again, 4 hours.
Yes.
So, a lot of people are kind of in the comments harassing him, being like, sounds like you have a hoarding problem, sounds like you need to deal with this, and blah, 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 blah. He goes into context about saying it's not hoarding, it's not hoarders, because a lot of people are like, clearly the application is for hoarders, and she's wanting you to get the house cleaned, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's not that, it's this, the house is not, like, all these things to add context to it. But the reality of the situation is, at the end of the day, for something so public and social, you need to be in agreement for it.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people do agree not the Picklefoot for that.
That's fair.
So,
yeah, I think it's a little difficult when you're going into a social thing. That said, it does seem like a great opportunity to have someone come through and like renovate your house, especially if you like read the fine print. A lot of those times you need to make sure you're looking at the fine print there, because like renovation can mean a lot of different things, and then also really you're the product that they're looking for.
And also there are a lot of stories. There's like a whole documentary now, I think it's all either on Netflix or Hulu, about like the people who had their homes renovated on Extreme Home Makeover who like couldn't pay the property taxes because it changed the value of their house so much that they went bankrupt. So it's like you have to be acknowledging that there's a lot to these things and not just a quick fix for something.
So it's not as easy.
No, it's not. All right, so that was my
Neither
quick find story.
is the 30-second limit.
No, it's not. All right. I have tortured you. Now time to torture me.
Okay.
Why couldn't you save that story about the drinking for this
the
one?
drinking one, it would be easier. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to give you a little more context, but you know, that's fine.
All right, let's go.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Am I the Picklefoot for not giving my friend his TV back? Earlier on today, me and some of my friends wanted to play some games in the living room. So I took my TV down, roughly worth 100 pounds, and my Xbox, and I left them on the stand. One of my housemates tried to plug in the HDMI cable and somehow knocked the TV off the stand, completely obliterating the screen. And just for a bit of backstory, last year, me and my housemate bought the exact same TV from the exact same shop. Initially, he said he I could have his TV in replacement. So I moved the TV into the living room, and after we played our games, I moved the TV back into my room. Now he's messaging me, asking me for it back and saying he will replace mine in 3 weeks' time. I told him that I wasn't going to wait 3 weeks for a replacement for a TV he broke, when he's got the exact same model as me. Am I the Picklefoot? Now, please bear in mind that we are both students, so 100 pounds is a lot of money to both of us. So, is he the Picklefoot for keeping his friend's TV after his friend broke his TV?
Okay. Fun little backstory. It is midnight where we are at, so the brain is like... So, I'm excited, but also just like...
Let's do it.
That's going to sound really gross on the mic. I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1. Soft Picklefoot. The reason I'm saying this is because, yes, the friend broke the TV. It fell. It shattered. And the friend said, yes, you can take my TV. When they moved it into the other room, it should have been that reality of like, hey, I realized I said this because I was stressed in the moment, and now I want it back. Let's come to a compromise. Let's keep it in a public place where we can share it, things like that. I'm going to work on doing it. You have first priority for it. But let's recognize that it was an accident and it needs to be fixed. So society's probably going to say he is not the Picklefoot. End of story.
Well done.
That is so stressful.
It's quite stressful. It's so quick. So you're saying that he, the poster, original poster...
Soft Picklefoot.
...is a soft Picklefoot.
Soft pickle.
Okay. I kind of agree with you in that way. But if we're going to go to legalism in that sort of system, which it seems like the comments are, they're saying he's not the Picklefoot.
That's fair.
The main reason why he's not the Picklefoot, one of the top comments says, you break it, you bought it.
Yeah.
It's exact same TV. If you're pretending like he broke his own TV because he went over and used it, then it's kind of on him to get himself a new TV. He's basically now borrowing his friend's TV, which still works, because his TV is broken.
Yeah.
I think it's a weird situation, but yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated, and it's like, I would love to go into the nuance of it, but I had 30 seconds, which I did this to myself because I kept lowering the time. I could have had 3 minutes.
You could have.
But I said no, 30 seconds to come up with a succinct thought. So no, I think that's fair. Again, it comes down to like this thing happened. It was an accident. It was not intentional. So, we're both students. Let's recognize that it's like, okay, 3 weeks to buy this TV is hard. It's a hard thing to get. I do not think that the friend should have been like, hey, I'm going to get my TV, like, I'm going to borrow the TV, like, you're not going to get a TV at all. It should have been a situation like, hey, you want to play, you're home, take the TV, or like, let's put the TV up in like a public space that you and I can share or use it. Something like that, I think, could be fair, just because it's like, okay, so now, yes, it was an accident, but we're not in a situation where we can just buy a replacement TV.
That's fair.
So it's like, it's hard because it's like, it comes back into that, like, this wasn't intentional, this was an accident, let's have grace on both sides. But also it comes back down to roommates, which is always a complicated fiasco in and of itself.
So complicated,
so,
yeah.
All that to be said, this is not a deep dive episode of any capacity. It's not a deep dive episode. We got through 12 stories, dude.
Absolutely.
This is a record. Like, people are going to see the chapters and be like, what happened if they haven't, like, heard the episode title?
Yeah, it was like we just went really, really quick through there. I mean, in the last episode, or in the last story that we had here, 3 weeks was a lot of time. We didn't have a lot of time here.
No.
But I'm glad you stuck with us through all of the stories there. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you liked us talking a little bit faster and understanding it. If you're listening to this at 0.5 or even 0.8 speed, I don't know how long this episode is, but it's probably like twice as long because this is still an hour episode ish for this. So
1.2
enjoyed it
times longer.
Yeah. There you go. So we have socials though.
Yeah, I think I already did a little bit of that at the beginning, but yeah, no, if you want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other fun places, give us a subscription on YouTube, just give us some kind of acknowledgement that you made it through to the end. What was your favorite story? Send us a comment about where you think each story fell in terms of our previous episodes if you listen to it. I'll interact with you and let you know how right or wrong you are. I feel some of them are easy.
Yeah.
Other ones are a little bit more on the complex side.
More complex, yeah.
So Make sure you comment, whether on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you podcast, or on the YouTube page itself.
Absolutely. But Andrew, I think we're out of time. We've got to get out of here.
Oh yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. Go. All right.
Thank you so much for listening. We love this. We're excited for you. We're gonna get a new episode soon. Hopefully, really, really, really soon. But we'll see you next time.
Bye.